I recently made a video talking about a handful of books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, Surrender Experiment, and Untethered Soul, Michael Singer, Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, and Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda. I talked about these books and I talked about what I learned from those books. And I was recently asked if there is what are some big takeaways from the book? If there was like one kind of idea or one big takeaway, what would it be? So it's a really good question. And, you know, these books are coming from people of different lives, you know, and different experiences. But I would say reading those books gave me an understanding of how our mind and our body works. If I had to take one takeaway, that would be it. How our mind and body works. How does our thoughts affect our body? How does our beliefs affect our body, affect our feelings, affect our emotions, which is energy? How does our energy affect our mind? And how does that affect our actions and our behaviors? And it gave me a really good understanding of it and some things and what really mattered and how things worked. Because up until then, I had a general idea, you know, because I studied law of attraction, you know, I gained some success in business and did very well in that. And so I had some ideas about mindset and how to create things. But this took it to a whole nother level. This was starting to understand the nature of my consciousness, the nature of my mind, the nature of my sense of identity, the ego. What is it? And when I read these books, that would be the biggest takeaway, even though there are many, many, many other things that are learned from these books. But I would say that would be the one biggest takeaway. And that really, I believe, is like the foundation. Because we got to have a foundation of how things work, so from there we can figure things out. If we don't know how things work, then when we have an issue, we don't know what we can base it on. We don't know what is a stable, universal truth. And we need to have these if we can figure out challenges in our life. When we get confused, what do we fall back into? For example, like a universal truth, like a foundational belief that is 100% true, that allows you to be able to use as an anchor, is that whatever you focus on, wherever your energy goes, is what you create more of. Like that, for example, is a universal truth. So whenever somebody is confused or when somebody is running into problems and they come back into this universal truth and they go, you know what? This is why I can't figure out how to overcome this problem, because I keep focusing on the problem. And so I just keep focusing on this and this is why I'm not able to see the solution. But if I stop focusing on the problem and now I just let my mind expand and stop focusing on it, suddenly the solution is not in here, the solution is out here. And the solution now, I can see it. But I can't see it if I'm focusing on the problem. Whatever we focus on, wherever our attention goes, is what we create more of. So that's an example. And so when I learned the foundational universal truth about our body and our mind and our emotions, that skyrocketed everything else. Suddenly I realized why certain moves help the body. Why is it that when I exercise, it makes me feel better? Why is it that when I stretch, it helps me feel better? What's the difference between doing calisthenics and doing stretching? What's the difference between meditation versus, let's say, toning? Right? They seem to be very different. What are the similarities? What are they both doing? You ever hear people go, oh, right? And then there's kirtans and all this stuff, and they're creating these vibrations with their mouths, sound, right? What is it doing? See, once I understood the universal foundation, everything started to make sense. So I would say that's that one big takeaway, you know, that really helped me by these books. And again, I've read a lot of other books, not a whole lot compared to many other people, probably very little compared to many other people. But these particular books that are just on my top mind awareness, if I had to go back to them, probably the ones I read the most often. But they've really helped me out. And there's also another small handful of books that contributed to this universal understanding of how we human beings work. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope this video helps you out. Leave in the comments below. Let me know if there's other subjects you'd like me to talk about or any questions I can answer. And as always, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the notification button so you can see the new videos when they come out. And see you soon.